just get you guys up to some things. In 422, King Philip professionalized the army, establishing the commander-in-chief, which, let me say that again, the garrison, and the military police. So that was King Philip, okay? He established all that. Moving on from that point, 743, King Fitzgerald I founded the Scattered Legion, whose first expedition in 746 ended in near total destruction. So in 743, King Fitzgerald I, yada yada, found the Scattered Legion. Pretty big stuff. Alright then. From that point on, in 797, King Illyrion Fritz. King Illyrion is mentioned a lot in the written exam. He ascended to the throne. My bad. He ascended to the throne after King Fitzgerald Fritz II and began major reforms. Speaker piece. Yes, I will be giving bonus points to those who attend. Yes. Okay. In 814, scouts developed omnidirectional movement gear, restoring credibility and enabling further expeditions. What's your question? Both of you, yes. In 814, scouts developed ODMG, restoring credibility, enabling further expeditions. How did the scouts go on an expedition without ODM gear? I guess they just were underfunded. They just weren't funded properly. They didn't have much. I don't know. I guess they were pretty quick on horses. What was the other question? I apologize. He had the power to rule the walls. Essentially, what that means is, in terms of what I can, like, to my knowledge, like Cena, Rose, Maria, he basically had the power to, as far as I know, like probably just, I don't know the full extent myself, but he just had sovereignty over all the walls. Like, you know how we have archdukes now? I don't believe that was really a thing back then. So when he had just that power, he had total control over everything, how he wanted things. There were no archdukes, you know, there was none of that back then. Nobody to lead the districts. But anyway, from 820 to 823, King Illyrion and disgraced former Supreme Justice Earl Hugo Krebs enacted the Great Codification, reforming the legal system, which I'll say once more. And then from there on, former Commander-in-Chief Greta Kravitz also restructured the military, creating a new officer corps and increased funding. I will also say the most recent CIC, if you need to know this name, most recent Commander-in-Chief that passed away was Lorien Vale. Lastly, I will state King Illyrion named Princess Aurelia Fritz as heir. I will say that may be an exam question. Okay. An unprecedented step for the monarchy. Queen Aurelia, which I will say, secured funding for the scouts. You know, maybe, you know, it might be an exam question, you know, this whole thing. So, just saying. Take that as you will. Alright then. Let me make sure I covered everything. Alright, nice. Alright, another thing too, I might mention Blackthorn Holding. Let me go ahead and type this out. I'm typing this out for you guys. 1 second. Alright, Blackthorn Holding, a massive faceless titan showed up via a lightning strike. It was headed straight for Ermic. However, it was killed by the efforts of the stationary guard and military police. I would note that down. There we go. Okay, sweet. I'd say that covers about most of the history you guys will need to be knowing for the exam portion. But I'm probably gonna talk about the government and judiciary stuff a little bit more. Yeah, what's your question? Great question. They managed to kill that faceless titan, or the massive one, using cannons atop the wall of Ermic. Yeah, what's your question? The largest titan ever recorded is the one at Blackthorn Holding. What's your question? What did the titan look like? It was basically kind of like a meatball, just massive. Will I host an adept? Maybe. All right then. Believe. Okay, history we covered. How big is it from the wall? I'd say like in terms of like size of it. I mean, I never really saw it, but um, it's probably like 8 walls, I guess, or 9 in terms of length. It's pretty. It's a lot for a titan. But anyway, did you guys ever get taught about Parliament or the judiciary, like how they talk about Lesser Council or Upper Council, Crown Prosecution, any of that sort? Okay. Alright. I'll bring it up then. I will say, this may be an exam question if you want, to take this as you will. Queen Aurelia Fritz is the first queen monarch, or female monarch. My bad. Alright. Moving on to government and judiciary. We are an absolute monarchy. We have a royal parliament and judiciary. So take notes if you wish. I'm sure you guys were told this, but we have a military penal code and a civil penal code. Queen can create or abolish laws on a whim. Yes. The Queen can also grant or revoke privileges at any time. This includes things like free speech. What's your questions? I never joined a branch. There are 2 houses of parliament, Greater Council and Lesser Council. Within these 2 houses of parliament though, yeah, go ahead, you're good. The Greater Council is composed of greater peers, upper nobility. And only archdukes and dukes can vote on legislation within it. Yeah, you can be in any branch and join TI if you want after. We do interviews for it. And then in terms of the Lesser Council, they're composed of lesser peers, lower nobility. Only governors can vote on legislation within that House of Parliament. Legislation must pass in both houses. Alright then. we're gonna move on to judiciary. Okay, moving on to this. This is currently active and known. The judiciary is headed by the Supreme Justice, currently Lucius Vellerin. Crown prosecution functions as a division of military police commissioned by the Queen. If you commit a crime, there's a good chance prosecution will charge you. And I will say, if you are ever charged with a crime from Crown prosecution, trials are very long and tedious. You should likely go to the trial, try to defend yourself. You should do your best to avoid trials though, really. Not very fun. Um, hmm. I'd say that's about everything in terms of our current judiciary. I will mention one more thing though. Yes, questions? Questions. You go to jail. Yeah, you can get marks from instructors. You don't get paid though. Alright then. As you guys are cadets, I'm sure you know this, but non-judicial punishments known as NJPs can be given to you if you mess up, do heinous acts, or even go AWOL or do bad things. You will be given an NJP or further punishment from that. I will say though, in terms of NJPs, branch officers may give their subordinates non-judicial punishments for minor offenses. As a branch member though, um, you guys can argue against an NJP as a branch member. Like you can go against it and like take it to court. As cadets though, you guys cannot take it to court. So there's a difference. And then lastly, I will state, actually no, that doesn't matter. Just make sure you guys know your nobility as well, greater peers, lesser peers, in terms of like saluting. There's a whole document on it, or if you took notes during initiate, you'll know how to address them when saluting. So make sure to keep that in mind. That may be on your exam. Just letting you know. I have one final thing for all of you to do though, before we end. If you go to BP request, please fill it out. Proof of action, just give me a photo of in-game. It's in BP request. It's a Discord channel. You'll fill out the format with your lore name and username, and just put proof of action with like a photo attached. Now, like I said, it's BP request and Discord. You'll fill out your bonus point request so I can give you guys bonus points. You can do your first name. You don't have to do your full name. Oh, my bad. Hey, what's up, Ludwig?
Just waiting.
Boy, I'm already done. I mean, unless you want to talk about expeditions, I mean, I went over them.
Oh, you did? Oh, shit. Sorry, the call went a little longer than I thought.
Actually, did
Yeah.
I go over expeditions or? I feel like I did. Let me check.
You went over one expedition, a man says. Mr.
Oh my
Cole
god.
Rosh.
Maybe you should do the expeditions considering
Sure. Um,
you have the document, right?
yep. I don't think all you guys have my name, so I'll go ahead. I am Ludwig. Back here. I am Ludwig. Alright, my name is Ludwig Starr. I'm part of the Scouting Legion. I'm a lieutenant in a rearguard squadron. Just gonna, brief you guys on some little Scouting Legion lore, some fun stuff, the expeditions, and kind of art. Actually, say yes if you're planning to join the Scouting Legion. Say yes if you're planning to join the Scouting Legion. Yes, yes. Nice, good amount. Okay, so you guys probably should be briefed on kind of where we're at right now. So I'm just gonna go over the history, kind of where we're at and how we got here and what we're gonna do in the future. You feel me? All right, so kind of like before the lore started, if we're talking like out of lore, uh, the 15 expedition, which was under the former commander before the first commander in lore, Adwin Becker. That was kind of like a nothing burger. You know what I mean? Not really much is known, just that it achieved like nothing. But the 16th expedition, the big one before lore started, it ended in catastrophe with over 90% people that went dying. And then Becker got removed from the military because of it, because he ran away when his men were fighting. He left them to die, and he got removed, but like no charges. You feel me? The 17th expedition, which was like the first one in lore, led by people, under the commander Ares Athalia, who is now retired. They encountered a new type of Titan, which was known as the Clicker Titan, which once they saw it, they came back to Shiganshina. The 18th expedition was the one after that, obviously. It buried the late queen. They established the first fob outside the walls, our first ever fob. And then they killed the Clicker Titan by Dalrix Hayes, but he died after. The 19th, the big one. Lots of videos about this one. They went to the Twin Peaks. They found the abnormal that wiped out all the dudes in the 16th expedition. They killed it. Over 100 people died. I think it was like 110, 105 or something. It was some crazy. It was some crazy shit, bro. I was waived like very like almost right after this, so I didn't participate. But that's what got me to join the 19th. That shit was cool. The 20th, which I led rearguard on, under the new commander, Kalen Athalia, because Ares, he retired from the game. They discovered, or we, I should say, we discovered a new abnormal, a large crater, and then a strange tower. Also, we saw the plated Titan, and then as well. And a little fun fact: I'd be very dead right now if Belladonna wasn't there. I would not be here. I'd be Titan paced, bro. Yeah. A little bit of a brief on where we're at right now. So obviously, Krita just got added, right? So our first vouching for not especially. He's a traitor to the crown, but I'd be a dead man, you could say. So where we're gonna go, or actually, I should talk about what we've done besides the expeditions. So currently, we have like 10 fobs outside the walls. We have 3 fobs in the furthest region we've ever been. We've fully we have fobs all the way until map edge in Out of the Walls 3, which is really cool. That's kind of like all you really need to know. Also, we plan to explore the caves that are there, with Lucian Thorn, who should be down there. A whole bunch of lore down there. It's gonna be cool. Be there, be square. What do these fobs provide? All right, so why we build fobs? It allows us to fast travel.
Jump and sit back down.
Yeah.
It's because everyone got respawned.
It allows you to fast travel to
I think the seats are bugged. Just stand up in the aisle. It's fine.
must have been a great win, W. Essentially, what fobs do is they allow us to fast travel on excursions. You don't understand how long this shit takes riding on horseback through the regions. It's terrible. So with the fobs, we can just fast travel. Makes shit easier. Um, and then north, we're gonna head north soon. I think next weekend, maybe the weekend after, we'll see. It's gonna be really fun. Probably gonna get jumped, but either be square. Yeah, that's about all I got.
Thank you, Ludwig. Mm, Suppose that about covers everything then today. Make sure you guys log and BP request that you were here. That way I can take note of you and log you for bonus points. It is helpful towards your graduation post score, so keep that in mind. Uh, in the meantime, you guys may be dismissed. You guys can filter out. I'll take note of everyone. So, if you have any other questions for Ludwig, you guys are more than welcome to ask. If you have any more questions for me too, you can ask me as well. But I'm gonna go ahead and end stage. I will say lastly, instructor feedback is a channel that does exist. It helps me out, so if any of you have time for that, it'd be nice. Make sure to give feedback to the staff host via /check host in game. The current staff host is Tectonic. Make sure to give him feedback in the main Requiem server. Staff really love that, so I appreciate it. Enjoy the evening for now, though.